Good afternoon, Standard 10 students. Today I shall be teaching you Act 3, Scene 1. Okay. Now the scene takes place in Venice on a street, and the characters involved are Selenio and Celerino. These two friends, they are on the streets. Okay. Now, where Selenio and Celerino are concerned, we must know something more about them. That is, other than being Antonio and Bassanio's friend, the role that these two play are that they take us to those areas, to those places where William Shakespeare could not bring that particular place onto the stage. So, whatever scenes was possible to be brought onto the stage, Shakespeare did it. And then, in the areas where he couldn't produce it on the stage, then through Selenio and Celerino's dialogues, they take us to that particular place. So that is the significance of these two characters in the play. Okay. So, in case if you are asked what is the significance of Celerino and Selenio in the play, then you could say that their role is to take us to those places which cannot be enacted on the stage. Okay. Now, Selenio. Now, what news on the Rialto? Now, we know the Rialto is the stock exchange market where all the traders, they have their business transactions. Okay. And in the previous scene, we come to know that there is a big rumor about one of a Venetian ship had been wrecked, and these two friends are hoping that it should not be any of Antonio's ship. So now, but they're not, there is 100% confirmation about a ship from Venice has been wrecked. But they're not sure whether that ship belonged to Antonio. Okay. Then Celerino says, while yet it lives there unchecked. Means yes, it is true that a ship has been wrecked. That Antonio had a ship of rich lading wrecked on the narrow sea, the Goodwins. Now it seems to be a very strong piece of information that there is one of Antonio's ship that was richly laden with merchandise or cargo has been wrecked near the narrow sea, that is called the Goodwins. I think they call the place a very dangerous flat and fatal, where the carcass of many a tall ship lie buried. He says now they're talking about the Goodwins. The Goodwins is a narrow sea that separates France from England. Okay. And it seems to be a very dangerous area where many a ship had been wrecked in that area. And carcass means the remains of a dead animal or a human being. Like you see any of these dead animals rotting out in the sun. What will you see? That the vultures come to eat up the flesh? Only the carcass, the bony area or some parts of the dead body is remains. So like that, maybe the frame of the ship may be still there underground or under the sea near the Goodwins to prove that it is a dangerous place for the ship, and many a ship had been wrecked in that area. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. Now they only hope and pray that this piece of information is only a gossip. What is a gossip? Where people sit and talk about useless things, about irrelevant things. So this rumor has been personified as a gossip monger or a gossip woman. Now Shakespeare brings out one of the traits of a woman, that they can never digest anything in their stomach. If they hear any kind of information, they have got a habit of going and tom-tomming, going here and there, and bringing it out from her system. So that is why he says, let's hope it is. This rumor is not like that gossip woman. So your rumor has been personified, has been given a lady's, the characteristics of a woman who loves to gossip, who loves to carry news from one place to another. Okay. And everyone knows that this lady is saying something, means she is saying a lie. So they're only hoping that this piece of information should be a lie or should be false or false rumor. So I would she were lying a gossip, in that as ever Nat Ginger, who made her neighbor believe she wept for the death of her third husband. Now there are people who would like to make a false statement appear to be true. So what happens? They chew ginger. Now when you chew ginger, what happens? Your expression changes. And then when you make people believe that you are crying for the loss of the death of your third husband, then people will believe. Okay. Now you may be wondering why the lady would cry for the death of her third husband. Make people believe that she is regretting or feeling the pinch or the loss of the third husband. Now what happens when people see a ghastly or a drastic scene for many a times, then it becomes a common sight. When you see a person in pain, in agony, in bleeding, okay, you see it for the first time, you get very badly affected. You see it for the second time, then what happens? It lessens. And when you see it for many a times, then that becomes a common sight. Okay, so this lady dying, crying for the death of her first husband, crying for the death of her second husband, and then crying for the death of her third husband means that it is a false cry. Because she must have gotten used to losing somebody close. So it is a common sight, and that is why they have to chew ginger to give that, the real expression that actually you are feeling sorry for the death of your third husband. It is just to convince people that the piece of information is true. Okay, that is basically what Shakespeare explains about rumor, false news. What all activities, how it has been personified, how people use ginger, chew ginger just to make that false piece of information appear to be true. Then he says over here, but it is true without any slips of prolixity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a little good enough to keep his name company. Now he says without a slip of prolixity. That means there was a big, huge, long, boring speech or discussion made on Antonio's ship that has been wrecked in the Goodwins. Okay, so there is no doubt because many people have spoken long speeches about this. In other words, maybe it is 100% true that it is Antonio's ship that has been wrecked. Okay, and the news seems to be very accurate. So, but these two friends are still not sure. They are still not yet confirmed that this ship belongs, that ship that has been wrecked belonged to Antonio. Now they use some adjectives on Antonio. Good Antonio, honest Antonio. Now Antonio being such a nice guy, a nice merchant, very helpful, generous and all that. So he felt that he would want to give a good title, add a nice title to the name Antonio. Like how we have Sir Bradman. Okay. Like we had a Sir. So which gives the person a very high respect. So they want to give, like good does not seem so effective, honest, very like common. They wanted a real good name that would suit the character and the nature of Antonio. So they wish they could get another nice word to add to his name or to his title. Okay. Oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company. Celerino, come, the full stop. Now let us end this story or end this topic. Celenio, ha! What says thou? Why the end is, he had lost his ship. So now why are you saying, no, let's put an end to our conversation? Whether we put an end to our conversation or not, the truth is that Antonio has lost a ship. Celenio, I would it might prove the end of his losses. Says, I hope that this loss should not affect his main business. Okay. Celenio, let me say Amen or Amen betimes for the devil cross my praise. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. He says, now before we can wish good or bad, let us end our prayer by saying Amen. He says, before the devil comes and intervenes our prayer or disturbs us in our prayer, and let's just see coincidentally, while we are wishing and praying that let's hope the ship does not belong to Antonio, let us hear some good piece of information. And before the devil could intervene or interrupt our conversation, here comes the devil himself in the form of a Jew. That is when Shylock enters into the scene. Now, they know Shylock may be coming from the stock exchange market or from the Rialto. So, then how now Shylock? What news amongst the merchants? Now I told you these two friends, till now they are not yet confirmed about whose ship has been wrecked. They don't know much about the owner of the ship. They are only hoping that let's hope it does not belong to Antonio. Okay, but now when they meet Shylock, they know Shylock is coming from the Rialto, from the stock exchange market. So he says, let's ask him. So they're asking him, so what's the news about the merchants in the Rialto? Indirectly, they want to know whether Shylock knows anything about Antonio's ship being wrecked. Okay, the video recording, I'll keep it till here. Then I'll continue with the rest. Okay, in the next video recording. And whatever is there in the workbook, please complete your question and answers in the workbook. Thank you.